Hello, 7th graders! This is Stevie Hi welcoming you to Teleradyo Eskwela. Tara na! We are glad to be with you in this new normal journey of schooling through radio broadcast. I am your Teleradyo host, Mary Joy Valdebelladayo from Tagum City National High School. How are you feeling now, dear students? I hope you are all well and comfortable wherever you are. At this time, I must ask you to stay in a comfortable, well-ventilated and well-lit area for you to listen intently and take notes. Are you ready? That is great! Come and join us. Stay tuned and be one of a kind Math Tagum student. We would like to thank our radio partner, Hope Radio 107.1 DXHS, where we are airing our lessons for junior high school. Thank you for your generosity. Our topic for today will be Laws of Exponent. This topic will be brought to us by our Teleradyo teacher, Rodeline Y. Quamag of Tagum City National High School.
Hello dear students, I hope you're all safe while listening to our program. Now that you are settled in your homes, I want you to bring out your pens, your notebook, and your learning material, specifically your Math 7, Quarter 2, Module 5, Lesson 1. And let us discuss the laws of exponents. Here is our learning objective for today. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to derive the different laws of exponents and apply them in simplifying expressions. Now, exponents are used in a variety of ways. Most often, when talking about very large and very small numbers. Very large numbers are often expressed using scientific notation, where we use exponents. For example, scientists use exponents in measuring the distance from the Earth to the Moon, or the earthquake size, or simply measuring area of a square room. Isn't that amazing? Exponents. These are superscript numerals that let you know how many times you should multiply a number by itself. In our example, x to the power of 5 simply means that 5 is the exponent and x is our base. Now, before we start our lesson proper for today, let me ask you 3 questions. You just have to tell me whether the mathematical equation is true or false. Are you ready? Let's have number 1. The given expression or equation is 4 to the power of 2 equals 4 times 4 equals 16. Is it true or false? The correct answer is true. Let's proceed to number 2. The given is 2 to the power of 4 equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 equals 8. Is it true or false? The correct answer is true. The last item says 2 to the power of 5 equals 2 times 5 equals 10. Now tell me, is it true or false? The correct answer is false. Now, let's proceed with our lesson right away. The following exhibits the different laws of exponents for multiplication and division. Let us start the first pattern. Observe the following groups of mathematical sentence. What did you notice? What can you conclude about a to the power of n raised to the power of m? For example, number 1, 2 to the power of 3 raised to the power of 2 equals 2 to the power of 3 times 2 to the power of 3 equals 2 to the power of 6, which eventually becomes 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 equals 64. For item number 2, you have y squared raised to the power of 3. It becomes y squared times y squared times y squared equals y times y times y times y times y and times y. Finally, it becomes y to the power of 6. Now let's have the second law of exponent. Observe again the following examples. Notice that the bases are the same. What did you observe with the expression a to the power of n times a to the power of m? Let us have example number 1. 2 to the power of 3 times 2 to the power of 2 equals 2 times 2 times 2 multiplied to 2 times 2 equals 2 to the power of 5. And finally, it's equal to 32. Let's move on to example number 2. It says x to the power of 5 times x to the power of 4. Simplified, it becomes x times x times x times x times x multiplied to x times x times x times x. And finally, you have x to the power of 9. Let's proceed to the next. Again, notice that the bases are the same. What did you observe with the expression a to the power of n over a to the power of m? Let's take example number 1. 2 to the power of 7 divided by 2 to the power of 3. 2 to the power of 7 was simplified as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 all over 2 to the power of 3, which is 2 times 2 times 2. Now, it becomes 2 to the power of 4 equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And finally, the answer is 16. Let's have example number 2. X to the power of 5 divided by x to the power of 2. X to the power of 5 was simplified as x times x times x times x times x all over x to the power of 2, which was simplified as x times x equals x times x times x. And finally, we have x to the power of 3. Now, for the last one, we have a to the power of 0. Observe again and notice that the bases are the same. What did you observe with a to the power of 0? Example number 1. X to the power of 3 divided by x to the power of 3 becomes x to the power of 0. And eventually, it is equal to 1. What about example number 2? It's 5 to the power of 4 divided by 5 to the power of 4. Which is when simplified, it becomes 5 to the power of 0 and finally equals 1. Now in summary, here are the laws of exponents. Number 1, we call it power of powers, which expression is a to the power of n raised to the power of m, which is equal to a to the power of n times n. Example, y squared raised to the power of 3 equals y to the power of 2 times 3, which is finally y to the power of 6. Number 2, we have the product of a power, which expression says quantity a to the power of n multiplied to quantity a to the power of m, which is equal to a to the power of n plus m. Example is x to the power of 5 times x to the power of 4, which is equal to x to the power of 5 plus 4. Finally, that's equal to x to the power of 9. Number 3, quotient of a power, which expression is a to the power of n over a to the power of n, which is equal to a to the power of n minus m. The example is x to the power of 5 over x to the power of 2, which is equal to x to the power of 5 minus 2. Finally, that becomes x to the power of 3. And the last one is what we call the zero exponent. But remember, a should not be equal to 0. And the expression says a to the power of 0 equals 1. Example, any number when raised to the power of 0, that's equal to 1. So 5 to the power of 0 is 1. Did you get it? Very good. This time, let us practice. I will guide you to answer each item. Let's start with number 1. Simplify using laws of exponent. X to the power of 7, y to the power of 10, all over x to the power of 3, y to the power of 5. I repeat, simplify using laws of exponents. X to the power of 7, y to the power of 10, all over x to the power of 3, y to the power of 5. Your time starts now. Okay, time's up. What is your answer? The correct answer is x to the power of 4, y to the power of 5. Because the quotient rule says 7 minus 3 is 4, and that is the exponent for x. And 10 minus 5 is 5, and that is the exponent for your y. Therefore, the final answer is x to the power of 4, y to the power of 5. Let's proceed to item number 2. Simplify a to the power of 8, a to the power of 3, b to the power of 7, all over a, b to the power of 5. I repeat, simplify a to the power of 8, a to the power of 3, b to the power of 7, all over a, b to the power of 5. Now your hint is to use the quotient of a power. Your time starts now. What's your answer? The correct answer is a to the power of 10, b to the power of 2. Now, why is that so? Remember that a to the power of 8 and a to the power of 3, you have to simplify it to become a to the power of 11. And a to the power of 11 divided by 8, that means 11 minus 1. So therefore, the answer is 10. So your final answer is a to the power of 10. For b to the power of 7 over b to the power of 5, 7 minus 5 equals 2. That's why you have b squared. Let's proceed to the next. M to the power of 8 times m to the power of 4. Your time starts now. Okay, what's the answer? Very simple, right? The correct answer is m to the power of 12. Now, let's proceed now to our assessment. This time, kindly get your paper and have your answer written in your paper. Are you ready? Let's have number 1. Simplify x to the power of 5 times x to the power of 3. Time's up. The correct answer is x to the power of 8. Let's proceed to number 2. Simplify 2x to the power of 3 times 2x to the power of 2. Time's up. The correct answer is 4x to the power of 5. Let's proceed to item number 3. Simplify x to the power of 4 over x to the power of 7. Time's up. The correct answer is x to the power of negative 3 or 1 over x to the power of 3. Item number 4. M to the power of 8 raised to the power of 2. Time's up. The correct answer is m to the power of 16. The last but not the least, here's number 5. Simplify a to the power of 3, b to the power of 4, c to the power of 5, raised to the power of 2. I repeat, a to the power of 3, b to the power of 4, c to the power of 5, raised to the power of 2. Okay, the correct answer is a to the power of 6, b to the power of 8, and c to the power of 10. Now, that ends our lesson for today. I hope you have learned a lot from our discussion. Kindly put your answers in your notebook for your assignment. Let us enhance on page 12, Math 7, Quarter 2, Module 5, Lesson 1. Until next time, keep safe everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Teacher Rodeline. That ends our lesson for today. For you to understand our topic further, you may do the exercises provided in your modules. You may also have an advanced study of your topics to prepare yourself for your next lesson. Remember that the key to mastering mathematics is a constant intelligent practice. Please make sure to be with us next session here at School on the Air program of the Department of Education, Tagum City. This has been Mary Joy Valdebella Dayo, your radio host. Keep safe, everyone. Goodbye.
TV High, dito sa City High. Makisabay, matuto't maglakbay sa TV High.